we will start with the chanting of Asatoma Sadgamaya, followed by Bhadran Karnebhi. Those who know the Shanti Mantra can join me. Om Asatoma Sadgamaya, Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya, Mrityorma Amritangamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Bhadran Karnebhi Shrunuyama Devaha, Bhadram Pashye Makshabhiryajatraha, Sthirairangai Stuštuvagum Sastanubihi, Vyashema Devahitai Yadayuhu, Swasti na Indro Vruddhashravah, Swasti na Pusha Vishwavedah, Swasti nastarksho arishthanemihi, Swasti no bruhaspatir dadhatu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. So happy to have these Upanishad classes at the ashram. If we look at nature, if we observe the entire Jagat, you see plants, you see animals, and you have human beings. Constantly, there's a challenge coming from the nature. Every organism, every living being has to face the nature. And in order to survive, plants, animals, humans have adapted, have changed the way they are in order to face the challenges of the nature. If you observe plants and animal kingdom, they have literally transformed themselves so that they can easily face the challenges of the environment. So there is cold. A certain animal has thick fur on its skin so that it can survive the cold. There is a place, there is a region, desert region, where the water is scarce. So certain plants and animals have internally transformed themselves so that they can face that harsh environment. They can survive without water for 10 days, 15 days, 12 days, or a month. So they have literally transformed themselves. Internal transformation has happened so that they are able to face the Jagat outside. But when you see human beings, here also evolution happened, but in a slightly different way. Humans or man invented tools in order to face the external environment. So there has been changes, not that there has not been changes, but compared to certain other organisms, comparatively it is less. So in order to face the external environment, humans have evolved tools and I would say tricks also in order to face the environment. And life goes on. Constantly, human being is also facing the nature. Animal cannot save water in order when there is a drought or a water scarcity, but a human and it has evolved an inner mechanism to stay without water for some time or slow down the metabolism. But a human being has a capacity to store water rather than there's no internal mechanism to survive without water, but he has a tool, he has tools to save water. So for everything, anything nature throws at us, we have a tool or an external mechanism to face it. So this has This has sort of enabled human civilization to progress, or whatever, whether we want to call it or progress or regressiveness, we don't know. But whatever has happened externally has happened. But the problem is, life not only throws physical challenges, life also throws challenges where we have to mentally face it. So probably human beings also have evolved the same mechanism in order to face mental challenges, that they have tools and tricks, even to they are using the same tools and tricks, thinking that it can solve all the mental and emotional challenges also. Sometimes they work, sometimes, most of the times, they don't. Or they may offer a temporary solution, but it will not be everlasting. The quest in Vedanta is to handle fundamental problem of dukkha. The quest in Vedanta is to be able to handle all emotional problems, not temporarily, but permanently. So we have temporary solutions. Everybody has temporary solutions to handle any problem of life. But we seldom have permanent solutions. So in the era of 1 minute Maggie noodles and 1 minute instant everything, 10-minute home delivery. So in the era of convenience, we want everything to be convenient. Our problem solving mechanism also, we want it to be convenient, but we have tried it all. It doesn't work in this forte of trying to handle the fundamental problem of dukkha, which is there. So here comes our great tradition. Here comes our great knowledge of scriptures. Here comes in Vedanta to fundamentally solve our problem of dukkha, or in other words, also called as samsara. Samsara is not a household living or something. Samsara is this fundamental problem that we keep on taking it forward. Samyak sarati, that which continues well, that is samsara. So if it is continuing well, no problem. But we have hiccups every now and then. That's why Vedanta comes in to solve this fundamental problem of dukkha and samsara. And unlike the Western philosophy, the knowledge contained in our scriptures is not something conceptual, is not simply some speculation. It goes hand in hand with the living, with our life. It cannot be separated from our living. So even in loose terms, if we have to say Vedanta philosophy, it goes hand in hand with life. So it is not some abstract discussion. It is not some abstract speculation about world, about life, about any other factor. So that is Vedanta, which goes hand in hand with our day-to-day living. And what is the discussion, or what is the vichara dhara of the Upanishads? Because we are starting Mundakopanisad today. Every Upanishad discusses these fundamentals of life. If you observe the entire life as we are seeing it today, you can put it under few categories. Jagat, the world that we see around us. Jiva, the individual. And the Jagat Karta, Srishti Karta. Technically, we use the word Ishvara in the word Vedanta. So the Upanishad primarily discusses Jiva, Jagat, Ishvara, the creation, the creator, and the individual. And what is the sambandha? What is the connection between these three? Is there any connection? Is it one or three different things? So this is where different acharyas have interpreted Upanishads in differently. Same Upanishad. They have the same reverence for the Veda. It could be the Dvaita Sampradaya. It could be Vishishtadvaita Sampradaya. They also have equal reverence for the Vedic knowledge, for the Vedas. The Pramana Buddhi is there in the Vedas. But yet, the difference in interpretations, why? Because the way they have understood these three entities differs. But Advaita analyzes life, Upanishad, from a very high standpoint. Adi Shankaracharya interpreted Vedanta true to its meaning so that it gives insight about life. Through this insight, through this jnanam, our fundamental problem is handled and samsara is put to an end. So commonly we understand that Upanishad is a discussion about Jiva, Jagat, Ishvara. Really speaking, it doesn't end there. There are two very more important topics, or very, very relevant topics. Why this discussion about Jiva, Jagat, Ishvara? Why this discussion? Because an individual is experiencing bandhana. So Upanishad is also discussing bandha. And Upanishad also discusses bandha nivritti, way to come out of the bandha. In other words, moksha. So that is the main 5 topics of Upanishad. Jiva, Jagat, Ishvara, Bandha, Moksha. This is the entire topic of Upanishad. So the Upanishad that we have chosen for our class now is the Mundakopanisad. Mundakopanishad is from Atharvana Veda. So every Veda has a Shanti Mantra. So the Shanti Mantra for this Upanishad is the Bhadram Karnebhih Shrunuyama Devaha. Very popular Shanti Mantra for the Atharvana Veda. So we have 2 great Upanishads from the Atharvana Veda. One is the Mundakopanishad, another is the Mandukya Upanishad. Both the Upanishads are form the part of Dashopanishad, the 10 Upanishads commented by Adi Shankaracharya. So this is a Atharvana Upanishad which is found in the Atharvana Veda. Every Veda has mantra portion which is called as Samhita. So these mantras are the prayers to various gods, various deities. So there is Agni Sukta, hymns and prayers on Agni. There is Vayu Sukta, mantras on Vayu, prayers to Lord Vayu. There is Varuna Sukta, prayers for Varuna Deva. So thousands and thousands of mantras occur in Veda. So that is the first portion of the Veda, which is called as Samhita. And there is second portion of the Veda, which is called as Brahmana. Nothing to do with the Varna. The Brahmana portions give us how to use these mantras in a homa, in a ritual. The mantras are how they have to be used in a particular yajna. So that is the Brahmana portion. In a way, it is the first commentary found in the Veda itself. So the Brahmanas are the commentaries on the Samhita mantras. The mantras are commented upon. We have mantras. Sometimes you won't know this mantra is being addressed to which deity, which Bhagavan. So the Brahmanas explain, okay, this sukta starting from this to this is the Varuna Sukta, and you must use this for this Ishti. Ishti means a homa, a yajna. This particular ritual, if you want to get rain. So these mantras are to be used for Putra Kameshti Yajna. So if you desire a child. So that is the Brahmana portions have all these know-hows of the usage of the mantras. We have another portion in the Veda, which is the Aranyaka portion. In this third segment, final segment, Aranyaka portion, you have upasanas. So you have meditations. So mental preparedness is required to receive this Vedanta knowledge. So the Aranyaka portion give us meditations to prepare our mind to receive this knowledge. And in the same Aranyaka portion, you find at the end of Aranyaka portion, you find Upanishads also. Finally, the Veda culminates, Veda ends with giving this profound insights of life and the Vedanta. That's why Upanishads are called as Vedanta, because it is the last portion of Veda. In Sanskrit, Anta also has the meaning Nirnaya. What is the Nirnaya? What is the conclusion of the Veda? What is the Tatparyam of the Veda? So that's why Vedanta. So not only a positional name, also this term is used because Vedantas are the conclusions of the Vedas. What is the final message of the Veda then? Okay, you have so many mantras, you have so many rituals, all of it. What is the Nirnaya? What is the Anta of the Veda then? It's the Vedanta, which is called Upanishad. So Upanishad Nama Veda Pramana. So that is the Upanishad. All that Veda is trying to say culminates in Upanishads. So one may ask, with the same convenience buddhi, okay, you order online, 10 minutes it comes. Or you instantly go for something, instant food is there. So why not directly come to Upanishad then? There's Veda, so much of Veda and mantra and yajna and ritual and this meditation. Okay, I'm interested in bandha nivritti. I want moksha. So why not I directly go into Upanishads? Yes, one can. If you are ready. If you are ready, why not? One can directly enter the Upanishad. Just like even in education system today, a certain child is a prodigy, certain child has great intelligence. So in US system, that child can directly go into some other class. So that young fellow is pursuing undergrad course, but he's a genius. So he is directly given an entry into PhD course. So Upanishads are the PhD course. If we are prepared, we can directly enter and receive the knowledge from Upanishads. But Acharyas have recognized a certain mental preparedness required, internal preparedness required, which is not so easy. So the advice or the suggestion by the Acharyas is that may you live a Vedic way of life through which you will process all the things internally. You're emotionally ready to receive this knowledge. That's why Shankaracharya in the Sadhana Panchakam also says, Sadhana Panchakam is about Vedanta. But the first very line is, Vedo Nityamadhiyatam Taduditam Karma Swanushthiyatam. May you study or learn Vedas, how much ever we can, at least few Shanti Mantras we must be able to have as prayers. And taduditam karma sunushtiyata. All the duties, responsibilities given in the Vedas, may you undergo that so that you are internally prepared. Not only rituals, that's why I said Vedic way of life. Brahmacharya, Grihastha-ashrama, Vanaprastha, Sannyasa. So may you undergo that Vedic way of living so that you process internally. Why marriage? So that certain things which cannot be processed in Brahmacharya ashrama get processed for a normal, regular person in the Grihastha ashrama. Every ashrama is important in the Vedic view. It's not that one is higher, one is lower to another. It is not that. In one sense, in traditional sense, yes, a grihastha offers namaskarams to sannyasi. That's just code of conduct in that way. But in the vision of Vedas, every ashrama one can grow. Every ashrama is done so that one can grow in life. The main purpose of Vedas, the vision is that one must grow. If you grow in brahmacharya ashrama, you grow in brahmacharya ashrama. If your growth is going to be in grihastha ashrama, you choose grihastha ashrama. If the growth is going to be in sannyasa, you choose sannyasa ashrama. So that is the vision of Veda. So this Mundakopanishad occurring in Atharvana Veda occurs in the Aranyaka portion of the Atharvana Veda. So Aranyaka is coming from the word Aranya. Aranya also has the meaning to walk well, to explore, to explore. So that's why we have to explore the Upanishad. Not simply by heart the Upanishad and do daily chanting. If you want, you can do that. But that's not the purpose for which Upanishad is there. Upanishad is there to explore. Aranyaka portion is for enquiry, is to explore. That is the Aranyaka. And Mundakopanishad is also known by the term Sannyasa Upanishad. Another name for Mundakopanishad is Sannyasa Upanishad. Why? Because Mundanam means to shave one's head. So in the Vedic way of life, who shaves? A sannyasi alone shaves the hair. So that's why this Upanishad is meant for sannyasis. So we will see what Upanishad itself means by meant for sannyasis. And what is the Swarasya in this Mundaka? So the hairs represents desires. Hairs are the represent symbol. Every culture uses certain symbols and symbolism. So our Vedas have symbolically recognized hairs as a representation for desires. So the Mundanam, which is an external act of culture, that means that one is giving up all desires. One is giving up all limited desires. All limited desires. In fact, we think that desires are something great in life. In fact, desires, no doubt a desire has a great capacity. Desires also have capacity to paralyze you. Desires can paralyze your mind. Desires can paralyze your mind. So you just retain what is those essential desires for your life. That is really the spirit of sannyasa. So you give up all unnecessary desires and retain those desires which are going to do good to you. Do good to you. So Shreyas and Preyas, Kathopanishad is putting desires in two categories. Shreyas means what? Those desires which ultimately do good to you. There may be short-term difficulty through that, but there is a long-term use from those desires. Preyas, short-term desires. So in the short term, they are definitely giving you a lot of pleasures. But in long term, every desire under the category of preyas will harm you. Donut, short term, very good, very pleasurable. Salad, Shreyas. So long term definitely will do good to you, but a short term adjustment. A student life, somebody who has a very clear goal, very clear cut vision. So such a student, even though there are so many distractions, will put many desires aside and pursues his academic desire, his professional desire. Ultimately, that does wonders to such a student. So this is the story of the desires. Everybody, in fact, a right-minded person is always giving up desires. Whether it's a student, whether it's a grihastha, finally a sannyasi, any right-minded person puts aside desires. So sannyasa is a way of living where one does not entertain any selfish desires. Any desire is for the sake of everybody, for everyone. So I remember one nice incident from Pujya Swamiji's time. So when we were studying in Coimbatore ashram, so Pujya Swamiji once called me and said, do you know how to make pasta? I said, yes, Swamiji. Okay, then do it for everybody. So ashram, all students, 150 students got pasta. So even if a sannyasi's desire, it's not for himself or herself, it's for the loka kalyana. So Mundakopanisad is also called Sannyasa Upanishad. Sannyasi is that person who has put aside all the unnecessary, unwanted desires aside. And in the ritual of the sannyasa, there is that very beautifully, this great vision penetrates into our Vedic way of living, where it is accustomed to shave one's head as a sannyasi, symbolically representing one puts aside all desires. So in fact, even in the laukika pursuit of desire, we think that a regular person may think that so-and-so person is pursuing desires, but the effort is only involved in giving up or ending the desire. Just think about it, okay? A person is pursuing a desire for a car. So what is that person thinking? Okay, I have a desire for car. I have to fulfill this desire. I have to fulfill this desire. If you see all the effort involved in it, finally he goes to the showroom. They put a cake and they put some balloons with a ribbon tape. The person is given the car key on his hand. The person is elated, happy, totally happy. Wow, done. For this, especially for an Indian, yes, great accomplishment has happened. If you observe what has happened at that time, he had a desire for car. As long as that desire was there, he was totally restless. But at that junction where that object of desire is in my hands now, there is an end of the desire. Really, what has given him happiness is not the desire, the end of the desire, ending of the desire. Sannyasi recognizes it. Not only sannyasi, I'm using in the term in the sense of anybody who has this insight, not only the person wearing orange color clothes, anybody who has this inner disposition. A sannyasi has recognized that, yes, true happiness lies in ending of all desires. So anyways, I'm pursuing everything for the sake of ending the desires. So I will pursue that by which all desires come to an end. I will pursue only that desire by which desire I can end all other desires. That is the desire for moksha. Now this sannyasi has or any Vedantin, a student of Vedanta, has a new desire. What is that? Desire for moksha. Moktum iccha mumuksha. And one who has mumuksha is a mumukshu. As a mumukshu. In the laukika pursuit also of vyavahara, in the realm of dharma, artha, kama, a youngster or a grihastha may be pursuing many things. A person has many responsibilities. A person has to earn. Person has to feed the people in the family. Those family members have all many desires, this and that. A lot of activity is involved when one is in the vyavahara as a brahmachari or as a grihastha. If the person can navigate through that life with this insight, okay, actually what I am pursuing is only the end of desires, That person is a sannyasi, whether he is in grihastha or whether he is in brahmacharya ashrama, that person is a sannyasi. So such a person can navigate through life very, very easily. Nothing gets touched. Nothing gets touched. Nothing sticks to you. Because you know everything is for a utility purpose you are doing in life. You do what is to be done, how much ever you want, thus far, no further. You have your clear vision of life, way to move forward. So that person never gets disturbed, never gets touched by world. Puja Swamiji used to tell, one can live like Teflon coated tawa or like a Mexican Teflon Don. Nothing can stick to that person. Nothing can stick to that tawa. And what is that Teflon coating that we have to apply for our minds? Is this insight? Is this simple insight? The person who has this insight, this objectivity, has Vairagya. Vairagya is this objectivity. Having this objectivity that a life simply based on pursuing one desire after the other is not going to do any good to me. Finally, I am left high and dry. So I need to find out a real way of living wherein I eternally stay blessed, contented, happy within. And how does that happen? By recognizing that the contentment that I am seeking is my own Swarupa. My own Swarupa. No other way. So Mundakopanishad is that Sannyasa Upanishad meant for sannyasis. Meant for sannyasis, people who have had this ability to handle the desires. So that is the Mundaka and Upanishad. What is Upanishad? Many of you may already know the meaning of it, but yet avritti, sometimes avritti, repetition, helps us to put that flame of inquiry brighter, to make that flame of inquiry brighter. Upa is Samipa. Upa is Samipa. And Ni is another particle which means Nishidhyate. That means well. Upa, Samipa, Ni, Nishidhyate. Sad is to sit. Tad is to sit. So Upanishad also simply means to sit well. To sit well. Near. Upa also means near. To be able to be seated well grounded, near what? Near Tattva, near the Guru. Tattva becomes an abstract. Tattva resides in a person. So one who has that Tattva is a Tattva Jnani. Such a person is a Guru. Upanishad means simply to sit near the Guru, to be in the presence of a master. In the presence of Puja Swamiji used to say, so what do you do in the presence of master? We stare at each other. How long? How long can we do that? We can't. For a purpose, the Guru and Shishya meet each other. And what is that purpose? That purpose is also Upanishad. So first meaning is to sit well near the Guru. And what is the purpose? For the sake of Upanishad. Again, what? Upanishad word is coming from Sadalr Dhatu. The Dhatu, Shad, means to avasadhana, to put an end. To put an end. Or to loosen up. To put an end to samsara. Or to loosen the chains of bondage of samsara. The purpose for which this sitting happens is to loosen the bond of samsara, or finally to end the samsara itself. That's why Mundakopanishad. Mundakopanishad is that Upanishad which has an ability to put an end to the samsara, to samsara sagara. That is the Upanishad. We will briefly see the meaning of the Shanti Mantra. Then we will enter the first mantra of the Upanishad. Tomorrow I will give you all the handouts. So it's a prayer. Always a Shanti Mantra is the prayer done together by the Guru and the Shishya. Guru and Shishya together pray to Bhagavan. Om Bhadram Karnebhi Shrunuyama Devaha. The prayer is for the Devaha. This culture, this Sanatana Dharma has always recognized that there is a power higher than us, which is running the entire show of the universe. That higher power is to be recognized and related to. That's why a prayer. That's why a prayer. So that higher power, in fact, the higher power is a direct translation of the word Ishvara. Ish means power. Varach is a pratyaya. So Ishvara simply means higher power. Varach pratyaya to denote higher. Varach means higher. Ish means Shakti, power, a higher power. So Ishvara is recognition that there is a higher power which is expressing itself as the entire universe itself also. Om Bhadram Karnebhi Shrunuyama Devaha. Hey Devaha, make sure that we always hear what is auspicious. What is auspicious? That's the prayer. May we always get an opportunity for Vedanta Shravana. Then commentators write, what is Bhadram? May we hear auspicious. May our ears always hear what is auspicious. So what is really auspicious? The Vedanta, the Upanishad is the most auspicious, because finally it puts an end to all our misery. That is the auspicious thing. May we always listen to Upanishads. Bhadram Pashyema Akshibihi. May we always see good things through our eyes. What a beautiful prayer, in fact, really, if you can appreciate the what rishis have written there. Sthiraihi angehi sushtuvagum tanubihi. So may all our limbs have enough strength so that we can undertake this self-inquiry. Not to fight with somebody, not for some kusti and wrestling, but to pursue this path of knowledge. So to discharge all our duties of grihastha-ashrama, or why not sannyasa-ashrama also comes with its own duties. And for discharging any duty, we have shariram khalu dharmasya sadhanam. Any dharma you want to do, the means is the sharira. In that sharira, may all the angas have correct strengths and configuration. Vyashema devahitam yadayuhu. So may we live full life, that lifespan allotted to us, a full life. For everybody, it need not be 100. But that life span allotted to us. That means, see, many people misunderstood Upanishads to be some pessimistic philosophy. No, there's no pessimism in this. So is it optimism? No. Then it's not some superficial positivity or optimism also. Then what is it? It is realism. It is realism. So the prayer is also not simply to live 100 years or something. That lifespan allotted to us. That ayuhu allotted to us. And for what purpose? Simply age. For what purpose? Devahitam yadayuhu. So that lifespan may I use in order to be hitakara, to do things hitakara for the devas, to do yajna, to do dana, to do tapas, to do karma. And that devas are expressing as the panchabhutas, all 5 elements in the nature. So may I be somebody who uses his or her lifespan to serve the panchabhutas. All the devatas are there, panchabhutas also. Yeah. Swastina Indro Vruddhashravaha Swastina Pusha Vishwavedaha Swastina Starksho Arishtanemihi Swastino Brahaspatir Dadhatu. So may Indra, may Vruddhashravas, may Arishtanemihi Garuda, may Brihaspati, the guru of the Devatas, may all these higher beings, these gods and deities, bless me, continue to bless me. May I offer this prayer so that I have blessings of everybody to pursue my spiritual path. That is the prayer in the Mundakopanishad. Now, every Upanishad is a samvada between the Guru and Shishya also. If the Guru and Shishya's names are not mentioned, you have to assume that there is a dialogue between a Guru and the Shishya. No Upanishad is simply some written thesis on a particular topic. It is always in a context of a class. Guru and Shishya are having the samvada, have come together to understand the nature of the reality, nature of the Jagat, and also Bandha and Moksha. For this purpose is this sitting, and that is a conversation dialogue. So in Mundakopanishad, we have names of the Guru and Shishya. And another question may often come to one's mind. So who was the first teacher? So who was the first Guru? Who was the first Shishya? So in a symbolic way, the Upanishad is telling, but really speaking, it is like trying to find which is the starting point of a circle, which is the starting point on a ball. It is like that. So it doesn't work. Symbolically, one representation is given. And in Sanatana Dharma, the whole vision is to put ego aside. Whole vision is to put ego aside. So every Rishi, a question may come in the Vedas or Puranas. Where did you get this knowledge? Rishi immediately says his Guru's name. I received from this person. But today you see how the degradation has happened in the society. Many Gurus claim, I got it. This is mine. They trademark it also. So this is mine. Copyrighted. So if Upanishads rishis were to copyright the thing, how funny it would have been. If Einstein were to copyright his equation. So no person having a higher insight gets into all this. And especially in the Sanatana Dharma, we always attribute the knowledge received from the Sampradaya. There is a very clear-cut Sampradaya. Very clear-cut Sampradaya. Sadashiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam. So all knowledge is received from a higher source. Higher source. So that's why the Vedas are revelations of the rishis. Revelations which are obtained by the rishis. They never claim, I am the author of this mantra. Thousands and thousands of Veda mantras, they never claim the authorship. The rishis simply say, in my meditation, this mantra was revealed to me by Bhagavan and I am sharing it with my Shishyas. So that is one. That is what happens in the Upanishad. So the first mantra, Om Brahma Devanam Pratamas Sambhabhuva Vishwasya Karta Bhuvanasya Gopta Sa Brahma Vidyam Sarva Vidya Pratishtham Atharvaya Jyeshtaputraya Praha. So the Upanishad is telling, Brahmaji, the creator of the entire universe. So here, the Upanishad is using two terminologies, two terms. One is Brahma and later Brahman. Brahman is the ultimate reality. Ultimate reality is given a name, and the name given by the Vedas is the Brahman. And Brahma is the same Brahman, the absolute self, seen from the standpoint of the creation. As the creator becomes Brahma, Brahmaji. So later, Puranas give the description of this Brahma. Who is this Brahma? Chaturmukha Brahma. So that creator has 4 faces. Description, because Saguna Sakara, the description is given. So now the Upanishad is telling, so first, this creator of the universe, Brahmaji, who is first born, he gave out this knowledge of reality. This knowledge of reality. This creator, Brahma, possessed this knowledge. And now the lineage of knowledge, the sampradaya, is being explored. How did this knowledge come passed down from one generation to another, from the guru to shishya? So initially, in Kannada, there is a proverb, Taiye Modala Guru. So like that. So in the Vedas, when you see, father and mothers are literally the first gurus. Because in the Vedic system, a child would go to the school at the age of 12, 8 or 12. Until then, homeschooling. Homeschooling is not a new concept. Homeschooling has been from the Vedas. So we have the description in the Chandogya Upanishad. Shvetaketu goes to the Gurukulam at the age of 12. And then he graduates at the age of 24. So then there is further 12 years of study in the Gurukulam. 12 years of study at the Gurukulam. So the father and mother are the first teachers. And here also in the Upanishad, Brahmadeva is passing down this knowledge to his eldest son, Atharva. So the Upanishad, the Tatparyam of this mantra, Prathama Sambhabhuva, this Brahmadeva, who is the firstborn, Vishwasya Karta Bhuvanasya Gopta. Who is that Brahman, Brahmaji we are talking about? Who is that creator? He is the creator of the entire world. Kim Tat Brahma Vishwasya Karta. He is the creator of the world. Bhuvanasya Gopta. He is the sustainer, protector of the entire world also. Sab Brahma Vidyam Sarva Vidya Pratishtham. Sarva Vidya Pratishtham. That knowledge, which is the greatest among all knowledge, he gave, this Brahmaji gives it to Atharvaya Jeshtaputraya Praha. He gives this knowledge to his first child, first son, Atharva. Jeshta has 2 meanings. One is first, eldest. Eldest is the Jeshta, or favorite also. This Jeshta has another meaning in Sanskrit, is favorite. So we don't know whether Atharva was the first son of the Brahmaji. We don't have the clear description. Or he could be the favorite son of also Brahmaji. So this knowledge got passed down from Brahmaji to Atharva. Atharva. So Atharvana Veda. That's why Atharvana Veda also. Atharva also has the meaning Agni. In other Puranic description, Agni is also son of Brahmadeva. In fact, why not Agni? We also, everything comes out of Brahmadeva only, no? So everybody is sons and daughters of Brahmadeva. There is always the connection. There is always the connection. So that is the first mantra. So here the essence of this mantra, what is that we have to learn and take from this mantra is that Upanishads are not some learn cookery in 10 days or learn something in 30 days, learn Telugu in 30 days. You find those, even I have seen in railway stations, they used to sell those books, learn Tamil in 30 days, learn something in 30 days. So Upanishads, learn Upanishads in 30 days. You never know, if you search online, there may be a course like that also. Okay, if you learn properly for 30 days, well and good, no problem. But conditions apply there. It's not a self-study course. It's not DIY. Now everybody wants like DIY. In India, that much DIY is not there still. So this IKEA came into India. No? It's all DIY furniture. Then it's so surprising. The whole concept is that you do it yourself. You get that and then you assemble it for yourself. But in India, there is a service. You can book in the app. So these apps where you can book electrician, plumber, you can book a personnel to come and assemble your IKEA furniture. So we are not that much DIY people, and at least read, that's okay. All other things you can do DIY, independent life, no problem. But Upanishads are not some DIY thing. Upanishads are to be learned from the Guru, the Shishya receives. Whoever you could be, Atharva, the Jeshta Putra of the Brahmaji, one from first child also, from our tradition, the first son gets so much importance. Now doesn't work. Probably in that system it used to work. Now it's irrelevant. Doesn't work that way. But first son of Brahmaji, he could have studied by himself. And also Agni. Agni is the representation of the Medha Shakti also. So he has all the Medha Shakti he wants. But he is learning, receiving this knowledge from Brahmaji. The Upanishad is very clear about it. Moving further. Atharvane yam pravadeta brahmatharva tam purovachangire brahma vidyam sabharadvajaya satyavahaya raha bharadvajongirase paravaram. So now further, Atharvane, this knowledge which Brahmaji taught to Atharva, this Atharvane yam pravadeta Brahmatharva. So what was received by Atharva? By his Guru. Now he is not the father alone. He is in the sthanam of the Guru. So what was received by Atharva, and that is taught to Angi Rishi. There is another Rishi by the name Angi. And that this Angi Maharshi taught this Vidya to Rishi Satyavaha. There is another Rishi by the name Satyavaha. So that Rishi gets this knowledge from Angira. So the Upanishad is telling, in this way, the knowledge started flowing from Guru to Shishya, Guru to Shishya, Guru to Shishya. That's why this is the only living tradition, Sanatana Dharma, where still this knowledge is being received from Guru to Shishyas. So Pujya Swamiji, Swami Dayananda Saraswati Ji, and hundreds of disciples of him, all of us received knowledge from him, and that knowledge is being shared with other Shishyas, and further those Shishyas have been may or may not share with other people who are interested in the Upanishad. The knowledge always continues, still continuing to date. I think one of the most unique thing about Bharat, is the living tradition. Is that this is the only living tradition. Pujya Swamiji gave Millennium Peace speech in United Nations. In his speech, he told this point. In today's world, everything is wiped out. He asked a very great question. Where is that culture which built those great pyramids? That culture is no more there. That culture is in the museum. Where is that great culture which built the hanging gardens of Mesopotamia? The culture and artifacts is in the museum. So take Mayan or any other civilization, gone to dust, it's all in the museum. This is the only living tradition which built those great temples. Still the tradition has all the knowledge to build those same temples. That tradition which were the Veda mantras are still recited in the same way, accurately. One swara also doesn't go up and down. In fact, we should get that whatever world heritage or world heritage thing for Vedas also. So why? Thousands of years living tradition. So that is the most unique aspect of Sanatana Dharma, and especially Vedanta, Vedic knowledge is intact, preserved in this great sampradaya of Guru Shishya. Now, Upanishad is moving forward. Upanishad is moving in another direction. It's now presenting a samvada between a Guru and Shishya. The third mantra, you can repeat after me. Shaunako Havai Mahashalaha Angirasam Vidivat Upasannaha Papracha Kasminnu Bhagavo Vijñate Sarvamidam Vijñatam Bhavati. So this is a very celebrated mantra of Upanishad, Mundakopanisad. Kasminnu Bhagavo Vijñate Sarvamidam Vijñatam Bhavati. Shaunako Havai Mahashalaha. So Shaunaka, this Shaunaka Maharshi, and there is an adjective to describe Shaunaka Maharshi. He is Mahashalaha. So Shaunaka is the Maharshi, and he has a designation or he has an adjective, Mahashalaha. Mahashala means Yajñashala. One who had great big Yajñashala in his house. So that means what? He has a big stature in the society. Why? Because he has a big Yajñashala. So going further, if there is a big Yajñashala, he must have big kitchen also. Because no Yajña is complete without Annadana. If Yajña has to happen, Annadana also has to happen. So Shaunaka is this Mahashala who had a big Yajñashala, big Annashala also. And Shankaracharya in the Bhashyam says, Mahashala, he is being described as Mahashala because he was a Mahagrahastha. Mahagrahastha. See, in the Vedic times, now see who is kind of respected or aspired for in the society. A rich person. Now, in our Vedic system, of course, the richness was always celebrated and respected, but celebrated, and that rich person always used to share a part of his wealth with the society. That's why that his richness used to be celebrated. Otherwise, what use of his richness to the society? Today, you see, everybody is behind rich people. For what? They are rich, okay, fine. But if in a way, it's simply that person is not going to get one penny also from that person. But still, simply craze about rich people, richness. For what purpose? Nobody knows. And you see, society, India, abroad, everywhere, the wealth, whatever richness, a middle class person is rich in the eyes of a person in below poverty line. Or some category is rich from the eyesight of this middle class person. So this goes on all the time. But then every class, whatever wealth they used to accumulate, would always share a part of it with the society. That's why they were celebrated. So Shaunaka was celebrated as a Mahagrahastha because he had Mahashala. He had Mahashala. So we have big houses, small kitchens now, and even smaller puja rooms. So we know our priorities now. Like we know where we stand. We as a society, where we don't even want to feed 4 people of our own house. No more cooking also has stopped happening in so many city houses. So I think few 10-15 years back, when these real estate people used to advertise 3 bedroom hall kitchen puja room, they used to put it in their brochures. Now, no, that puja room in 10 years is eliminated. So we have 2 BHK pantry, whatever other amenities. Probably I'm sure in another 10 years, we will see BHK will go because Swiggy, Zomato. So K also will go. P has gone, puja room has gone, K also will go. So our priorities, me, mine, me, mine, me, my life. That's all. That's all the society has come to. But Shaunaka Rishi was not such a person. He was a Mahashala. And being a great Grihastha that he was, by all the yajna and dana he has done, he has a certain level of Anthakarana Shuddhi. Now he approaches Angira, Maharshi Angira, Vidhivat Upasanna. So he goes and duly approaches the teacher. This culture always had a way of approaching a guru. So you go approach a guru reverentially, humbly, because that guru has something to offer in terms of knowledge. So you humbly receive. So you go with a humble heart, you go with a open mind, and an empty hand, no. Duly approaching is taking something or the other when you go to the Guru Sthanam. So this ashram is a Guru Sthanam. Puja Swamiji established this Gurukulam, this ashram. So Puja Swamiji's Guru Sthanam. So the culture is that you take, wherever you go to a Guru Sthanam, you take something or that. It could be just a banana. It could be a flower. It could be leaf. What you are taking doesn't matter. But something culture. It's a tradition. There is a celebration involved in it. So Vidhivat Upasanna. So he must have taken Samhita, Samits. Because in olden days, whenever you went to a guru, you would carry Samit. In Mundaka also, it is explained further. Samit Panihi. Samit Panihi, you approach. And there is a Sanskrit shloka also regarding this, or saying, Rikta Panim na pashyeta. Rikta means empty-handed. Pani means hands. Rikta Panim na pashyeta. Do not go and see empty-handed. Rikta Panim na pashyeta. 3 people. Who are those? Rajanam, Gurum, cha Daivatam. So Raja, whenever you go to meet a king. So today politician. Guru, teacher, Daivatam, whenever you go to a temple. So you don't go empty-handed. So that is a cultural symbol. There's a beauty to cultural symbol. Today one may ask, why should I take anything? It will be a waste. It will be a waste. When you are doing something, it's not a waste. Whenever a cultural practice comes, it's a waste. Why take flowers? It's a waste. Why put buntings and balloons for the birthday? It's a waste. You don't say that's a waste then. But for Deepavali decoration, it's a waste. In fact, you see all traditional decorations are eco-friendly. All your modern decorations are plastic, harming the environment. You put banana stem. 3 days, it becomes a fresh manure in your garden. You put mango leaves. 3 days, it composts in your garden. There's a beauty to it. So that is being said, Vidhivat Upasanna. So he approached the Guru. In fact, Vidhi has 2 parts. One is he carried something. That is of secondary importance. Whether you took something or not, that is of secondary importance. What is the primary importance? He thoroughly, duly approached the Guru with the right attitude. That is real coming to Guru Sthanam. Real coming to Guru Sthanam. Now, what is that attitude? Let me try and learn something. Maybe this person has one or two good things to say. May I receive it? May I receive it? We will see further in the next class after a break. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. So we will meet again at 11:30.